Hello and welcome back to the Ambassadors of Gaming channel. My name is Ambassador Michael, and today we're going to go through a little impressions of the newly released free-to-play Battle Royale game from Titanfall makers, Respawn. Now, you may say, but there's no Titanfalls. There is no Titans. No falls of the Titan, you may say. That would be correct. There are no Titans in this Battle Royale. And seemingly crushingly, also no Titanfall 3. So for the foreseeable future, no Titans, unfortunately. However, what we have gotten in its place is the actual pretty well put together Battle Royale, which actually kind of resembles Lawbreakers, I think, a little bit aesthetically here, and I think you'll be interested to see kind of how this all works out. So we have Apex Legends from Respawn, published by EA, free to play, Xbox, PS4, PC. Currently no crossplay, apparently never any cross progression. Apparently the way they set up their system, no cross progression, can't happen. I don't know about that, we will have to see, because there was also an issue with Fortnite forever ago and they fixed it. So maybe not always in the cards. Maybe they're just covering their butts for now, which is fair. On to the good stuff though. When you first start up Apex, it starts you out with a training course, which is great because it doesn't play like Titanfall, it doesn't play like Call of Duty, it doesn't really play like Overwatch, and it definitely doesn't play like Fortnite. So it's not just, hey, let's figure out how this is gonna work. So you start out with the training, it kind of shows you how things go about. There's this interesting ping system, kind of like a way marker, but you can use multiple different types of way markers to indicate where a player was, whether or not there's some loot somewhere. And then the inventory management is kind of set up like PUBG, where you have a certain number of spaces, but you can get a backpack to increase that number of spaces. I think they actually did a fairly good job here, again with the Overwatch comparison. There's a bunch of skins. The skins can all kind of be unlocked through loot boxes. Unfortunately, we have loot boxes. However, I think Apex kind of can get away with it here because it's free to play, and also because, like Overwatch, you earn the loot boxes, and on top of that, there's no duplicates of cosmetics. They just don't exist. You're not going to run into getting the same skin over and over and over again to get credits. However, there is, all three different types of phony money in this game. So the economy is a little strange. So let's really get into what's really important. How does it play? How does it feel? So it's always going to be teams of 3, which is interesting, an interesting choice because in all battle royales we've seen so far, they're teams of 4. H1Z1 is 4, PUBG is 4, Fortnite is 4, and then they proceed to go down from there to 1. Apex Legends is always a team of 3. There's no solo, there's no duos, it's always a team of 3, which means you always are going to have fill, which is not preferable, if I'll be honest, because this is a game that requires communication. Battle royales, you generally just don't want to play with randoms. It just doesn't really ever work out. So that's one of the things that kind of hinders it so far, is the requirement to fill. I'm hoping that in the future they kind of decide to change it, but I think the way it's set up, it makes sense why it is the way it is. And I think we're probably going to be stuck with the 3 teams. So the hero classes themselves actually have pretty great abilities. Each one is very unique, very different in what they can and can't do. The one I was primarily playing was the Bloodhound. He has a couple of different abilities. His abilities stem mostly around locating players. He's able to see tracks where players' footprints, things like that, and mark them for his allies. The tactical ability allows him to see traps, clues, and enemies. And then they all have an ultimate, again, just very similar to Overwatch. His ultimate is see tracks from where people were, even if they weren't close immediately, so you might be able to pick up their track easier and increase movement speed. So one of the things I was worried about is generally with hero shooters, you see that the hero class is tied directly with weapons. We saw this with Overwatch. We see it with Overwatch. We see it with Lawbreakers, and we saw it with, what was the Gearbox one? The Gearbox one, whatever the Gearbox one was, I can't remember what it's called at the moment. It's again very similar to Fortnite and PUBG, in which you drop in and you gather loot. The loot is all very different based. You have your rarities, your white, green, blue, purple, and gold. Each gun is very different too. They take from the Titanfall multiplayer. Some pistols take shotgun ammo, for example. They're more like it's weird. They're like a revolver, but they shoot all 6 shots at the same time. I don't know if we have footage of it here, but that's one of the ones I used recently. And you see that in the lower right-hand corner. It indicates what kind of ammo that gun uses. Interestingly enough, just like PUBG, you can pick up attachments. And the attachments, again, go to specific guns, so you can get sights, stock, thing like that. But they're all spread throughout the map. Like PUBG, all of the loot when you kill somebody or when you die is contained in a crate instead of like Fortnite where it's spread out in the open. I kind of like that better because I run into an issue with Fortnite frequently where your teammates may accidentally run through, grab your ammo, stuff like that. So I like this contained a little bit better. But it also is a disadvantage because you never really know what's in the box. So, if you happen to come across an older player's dead body, you don't know. There could be something good. There could be something crappy in there. You don't really know. It is this really weird mixture of Black Ops and Call of Duty's gunplay, which is what we're used to seeing in Titanfall. The mobility that we're used to seeing in Titanfall, but much more grounded. The double jump doesn't really exist in here anymore. The wall running doesn't really exist anymore. However, there's a long press on the jump that allows you to kind of scramble up a wall. But it's more like a mirror's edge kind of jump than it is a double jump or that real fluid movement that we're used to seeing from Titanfall. So overall, I don't know if this game will keep me involved. It's very, very interesting. It's very different from what we've seen so far from Battle Royale. And I think it could find its niche. I'm just skeptical because it is being published by EA and them decided to stealth launch it because of the current climate that they're in and the game using loot boxes. So, take it with a grain of salt. They decided to keep it under wraps. However, I do think they have something solid here, and I'm kind of interested to see how this progresses and grows, as this apparently will be their game into the foreseeable future outside of The Last Jedi. So, let me know what you think if you've had a chance to play. If not, I would recommend trying it out. It's free to play. It's a kind of big download, but overall, I think you might enjoy it for a little bit, or, pick it up in your spare time and just play a match or two. So that's really all I have to say on it. There's my opinions. I'm going to be playing later with Christopher, and hopefully having a team will make that much better. So we'll have to just kind of see how that goes. Anyways, until next time, I am Ambassador Michael. Thank you for visiting the Ambassadors of Gaming channel. If you'd like to support us, we also have a Patreon that is linked below. You can go ahead and get yourself some nice perks there. And with those perks, you get some nice goodies like exclusive content and early access, along with maybe your comments, questions, and concerns read on the show. So, until next time, I'm Ambassador Michael. Goodbye, friends.